Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Talks Machina, episode 60, A Turtle by Any Other Name. We just finished watching it last night. I jumped in the car, ran to Wildwood, 3-hour tour, came back this morning after having done like a 5-hour event there. Basically what you have to do is you all got to do jobs to avoid paying people to do the jobs. I think it's actually pretty brilliant of them to have decided to do this. They take all 30 units and they split up jobs that you'd have to hire landscapers and contractors and stuff like, you know, handymen. And then you don't got to pay like thousands of dollars to have everybody do it. And everyone's kind of guys like me who are hands-on, kind of know how to do that stuff already. So it's like I build houses or did build houses at one point. So anything involving moving or machinery or tools or anything like that, they usually throw my way and I could do it quite quickly. So I got done. I drove home. I jumped on the computer. I'm going to do Talks Machina. We saw Yasha at the end of the episode have a dream. I already saw Yasha's there with Travis. I'm surprised we got Ashley Johnson because I'm thinking, holy crap, what better time to get Ashley Johnson? But we had her in the last Talks Machina, so we get her again 2 in a row, back to back Talks Machinas. If you hear it outside, it is pouring rain. The thunder just struck, which is funny because that's how this episode ended. And Sammy's on the bed already like big-eyed. Should I run under the bed and hide for 5 hours? I'm curious to see. Sometimes when he sees me, it comforts him enough where he could not let it bother him. But as soon as you hear a loud crash, Sammy's going to go jetting somewhere. We had Yasha having some crazy dreams, waking up soaking wet. She was shackled. We saw this Avengers-like future where all of our bodies were dead at Yasha's feet. Molly Muck was there, which obviously he already has passed. But we're talking some serious, deep, dark crap. She rolled a 22. Her wings went wild. It kind of lit up with feathers, and then it went out. I think if we rolled like a 26 or better, she would have broke them, but it weakened the chains, and then she woke up. So the next time this happens, I feel like as long as we don't roll horribly, we should be able to snap these shackles. So let's find out. I'm jumping in. You guys want to see more of what I do? Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2, Vox Machina Season 1 and 2, hundreds of other shows and movies, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest. Season 4 of Infinity Train is starting tomorrow. Ted Lasso and Barry's also tomorrow. Hundreds of shows and movies. Check the link below. If not, episode 60, Talks Machina. Why didn't it start? What's happening? I don't hear it. Why don't I hear it? What's happening?
Thank you for the additional time, Zach.
Is there no music?
We will begin.
I have to do it again.
Thank you for the additional time.
Is there really no music? Oh, there wasn't. I thought my audio was bad. All right. I thought my audio was bad. There's no sound.
Thank you for the additional time, Zach. We will begin
Sorry about
this
that.
episode as we begin most episodes
It's fine.
with stats from our friends at Crit Roll Stats.
Stats,
Three, two,
Crit
one.
Roll Stats.
A little bit late.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do
Episode
it.
60, Crit
At
Roll
11.
Stats. Here they come. Ford
There's
got
running
5 out of the
loud.
Mighty Nine's 10 natural ones in episode 60, tying him for most nat ones in an episode this campaign.
Ford got
Most-
5 out of the 10 natural ones.
Halvesies.
4 out of the 5
That's
natural
near
ones.
50%.
That's 80%.
Greg, you went to college for math, right?
80%.
Ford also got the Mighty Nine's 60th How Do You Want to Do This against,
On episode
what's
60.
it called?
Strong
divot.
jaw.
A divot.
Dale.
Divot.
He's representing.
Little yang with the
Grog.
yang.
I am
I
still
just did the
unsure if
Grog
we can say
unboxing.
that
See him
on
there?
Twitch.
I replaced Ford.
Let's,
It's not a nipple.
well, Jesus.
A female
nothing's-
presenting nipple.
Nothing's a
Now
nipple.
the
Areola.
that was the card music play.
Ashley,
Why did the card music
How many times
play?
do you think Yasha
like
has raged
2
in
minutes late?
campaign 2 thus far?
Ooh.
How many
Boy,
times?
that is a good question.
Oh, Sammy booked. Sammy just booked. I don't know if you guys heard that. The thunder went boom.
Oh, is this including
just
Travis?
a little.
Yeah, total, like-
Sammy
Yasha.
flew.
21.
Very close.
60 episodes, Ashley.
I know, but I feel like I've played
Very close.
so little.
Very close. 45.
Okay.
Less than half.
I might have set you up in the wrong way there.
I was like, okay, if he's
I
right,
thought I honestly thought Brian was
It's a stupid
exaggerating.
number.
So what
I
you're
was like,
saying
there's
is
no way she's
between
close.
both
Brian
of
is
your
just saying
brains,
that.
remembering the rage, neither of you were even close.
Barbarians are not.
No,
Smart.
listen, it's like second nature for us, right?
Yeah.
Barbarians are very not
Are
smart.
you so happy to
Prove
be
it.
back down to just one iPad?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Generic tablet?
no, I love being a barbarian. Because
What?
it's the best. Yeah,
What did he
of
say?
course. This is the ultimate smash machine, man. Yeah.
That's what I
Do you
heard.
miss all of the dice and the math you would have to do at the later levels
heard I
versus
love-
what you have to do mind-wise for
No, thank
majority?
God it was at like level 7 and 8, or I'd be fucked with an HK in that word.
Poor Sammy's locked in this
HK.
room. At
Yep.
least he's with me.
UHKD.
He's probably under the bed somewhere.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about Game Ranch today?
I think
I gotta check
it
that out, because
was,
they look like they
killing
have a
you,
lot of fun.
in the first 10
Crushing me a
minutes.
couple dozen times?
Yeah, without you expecting it for some reason. I don't know. Try and trick.
Did I expect it and then pay you back for it later?
You did, actually. Yeah.
Subscribe to find out. My favorite part of this episode was the owl.
Oh man,
Don't want
that
to spoil it for people who just
rude
got off
bastard.
work.
Yeah, he had something to say.
That is
That
a tough,
rude
That is a tough
bastard.
cookie.
The
Seven.
frontier has made him
does not mince words.
dangerous.
Very tough.
I gotta
Very
find
mean.
out.
Very
I gotta
mean.
find out.
So
I-
mean to you.
I had to stop and really kind of think about my life for a little bit after that. Some
Yeah.
of the
Yeah. I would say.
emaciated little bitch or whatever that stuff was,
That's
Pouring
harsh.
Is that
outside
what was
now,
said?
if you guys
Yeah, that's what was
can
said.
hear the loudness.
that hit me.
Usually when
rain.
it's not directed at me, I don't catalog it.
I had
but
no choice.
I looked over and
I
Steve
just got
had a
home.
tear
At least
come
I
down
beat
his
the rain
cheek.
because I was
boy,
driving
doesn't
for
cry.
hours.
those are allergies.
It was beautiful. It wasn't beautiful. Our first question. Now we got to get to the questions, guys, because it was brought to my attention this week.
What?
Some people think there might be a little bit too much goofing off on this talk show on Twitch about a D&D campaign.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm already half out. But
But
I think we need to get serious. I think with After
I feel
Dark
like this
being
is
gone,
some people
the
in the
shenanigans should
live
not
streams.
carry into this main show.
Sometimes
They
we
should
get
also be
into
gone.
like rants about
Okay.
nonsense.
I want
And some people in the live stream are like, no
answers
offense,
out of you. I want
but I'm
spoilers.
here
I want
for
you guys to
D&D.
stop
And
not
I
being
get
able
it.
to answer the
I
stuff
get
you
it.
can't answer.
okay.
I like
want,
to rant about
um,
insanity.
No Nerf
Like
gun
right now.
activity.
Well,
But I
No
get it.
FaceTiming anymore.
come on.
If anyone of the cast is here, I do not want them to come in and interrupt the show.
I think it
I
makes
want
the show better. We've
professionalism.
talked
Okay,
about this.
that sounds fair.
I
After
think
this
when it's
Kickstarter,
chaos,
there are
as
eyes
long as it's
on
organized
this
chaos,
content
which it
that are
usually
never
is.
on it.
No interruptions.
I feel like whenever there's chaos, like Liam
I
took
made
the role of
myself
Brian,
clear.
like everyone
Yeah,
kind
I think we can
of
abide
fell
by
into a new
that.
role. As long
And
as
you'll
there's
relay that
organized
to the rest of the
chaos.
cast.
Yeah. Do we
Yeah.
Talks
apologize?
Machina is at a new level now.
Okay.
Okay?
Talks
People from
Machina.
UPN might be watching this.
UPN.
Executives from
UPN. Is that even still a thing, or was it even a
the
thing?
Golf Channel.
I feel like UPN
Our first
left
question tonight is
long
for
ago.
Travis. And it's from
UPN
El
9.
Alolor.
I don't even know what UPN
How does
stood
it
for.
feel to be faced
that
with the
Universal
challenge of
Pictures
healing
Network?
riffs in both Jorhas
I don't know.
and the Game Ranch?
Oh, right. Well, being
Warren
that I
and-
have healed
Warren and
approximately
Stormin.
zero
I'm waiting
riffs
for Sammy to run out
in
and, like,
Jorhas
run out the door and start beating it down with a hammer.
have not a care in the world in the ranch being the chosen
No, the Game
one.
Ranch.
Oh,
Not really a responsibility of mine. See, I'm going to survive whatever's coming. You, however, I don't.
wait a second. But
The
you-
liability.
This is so passive, though. You're assuming that because you're the chosen one, you bear no responsibility in whatever's to come. Did Neo sit back in a lazy boy chair eating Cheetos, or did he learn jujitsu?
I mean, in the real world, yes, he was plugged into a machine. So, yeah, he was sitting back
Laying
in a fucking
around.
lazy
Literally
boy.
laying around.
That is a really good point.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a-
literally
solid.
laying
That's good.
around.
Ashley,
Wait, we can't have any
Brian
interruptions.
has no
no interruptions.
comeback. That was good.
Spicy Sprite. Yasha seems cool and collected most of the time, but when she was talking to the Stormlord, she seemed timid. Why does she feel this way?
Well, she
Is it because the
seems
Stormlord
scared
knows
shitless.
things she does not?
Spicy Sprite.
Obvious.
Yeah, definitely.
Obvious.
I think it's still sort of exploring this relationship with a higher power is still a very new thing for Yasha. And I think she's still very unsure how you're supposed to commune with something or someone that you don't know if they're there or not.
Yeah.
You just see signs and you see things that are happening, and
I feel like a
he
lot
definitely communes with her
of our
in
people
her dreams, and
I mean, I
she's
was
still
gonna say
figuring it
not just
out.
our people,
I mean, I
but-
think it's very similar, probably to anyone who's new in any faith. You're just like, I don't know how to do this.
That's my
but
vitamin
you're just
shake.
kind of trying to
It isn't
figure it out, and
alcohol.
it's still a very
I'm
invisible
still on
thing
my
that you don't know what
Friday
you're supposed
cheat
to do.
days
I
only.
mean, her examples, like I said last week, are Jester. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's why I was I was thinking about it, and I was like, why did I draw a dick in the dirt and not like a lightning bolt? But I was like,
I think
know.
it was.
I mean, I
good.
actually
A
was very
lightning bolt
nervous.
would
I
have
was
been
like, I did it, and I was
expected.
like, I don't know why I just did that.
Yasha was following her instincts.
Following
I
her
think
instincts
it
and
was
just trying to figure
well
Go
done.
with what
figure
works.
some shit out.
Because
She knows that
drawing
works.
a thunderbolt
and-
would just
but-
be like,
Can't be mad
okay,
at a wang.
Yeah.
it isn't going to give us
Obviously,
anything we
she
already don't know.
knows that
And I
the
felt the
Stormlord
dick was
knows
necessary.
a lot more about her, because there's still there's a little bit of Yasha, that there's some time that's lost, or I don't know. There's a lot of stuff
like that
she
camera
just,
shot.
she doesn't have information for.
Do you think, yeah, it makes sense. I'm sure we'll get into that. Do you think she looks at Jester's faith as more of just a blind faith than her own? It's more just like trusting whatever the traveler versus like,
I mean, I could see that. I don't know if that would be her, but I could see that.
Yes and no. I think there's an element of, you know, I think it's the things that Jester does for the traveler seem very out there to Yasha to begin with, because Yasha is very timid and, you know, but I think she's seen the results of what's happened with Jester's faith and even with Caduceus's faith. So it's one of those things of like, okay, well, I guess these are my examples, and I'll try some stuff like
I was
this.
just
And
looking
I
around.
think
I'm insane.
she definitely
She just looked into my soul.
looks
I saw
up
it.
to Jester and her weird communion with her god,
yeah.
whoever he is. Which me personally, Ashley, I'm like, who is this?
I don't
Who is
like
this
it.
guy?
I don't like it. I
I don't
haven't
know
liked
shit
it
about the
since the
traveler.
beginning. I haven't liked it since the beginning.
I never really had.
I haven't liked it. Since
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a horned dude with wings.
Yeah.
Talking to
Okay.
us about.
Travis.
Wait, was
Yeah.
he the one talking to us?
CD88 asks,
I have to.
Ford seemed more frightened
refresh
of the
myself.
snapping turtle than the undead giant that had just spilled its guts in front of him.
Yeah.
What horrible experience with the snapping turtle did Ford have during his life as a sailor to create such a phobia?
I hope there's a story, and if there's not, I hope Travis creates
Yeah,
one.
Ford
right
ate
now
some
on the
moldy
fly.
ass bread on a ship one day. Fell into the.
What was that?
Wallet. Have you seen my wallet anywhere?
I have not
Wait, no,
seen
Matt,
your
we can't have
wallet,
any
Matt.
It's over and
interruptions.
around here.
I
I
said-
missed the first part of the episode. I'm trying
Where's-
to. Hold on. I think it's.
No interruptions.
That? Did he
wait, I
smack?
found it.
Said,
Did he
found
smack
it.
him in the chest?
can you
find it?
imagine?
It's under here.
Clearly,
people
he's
online
doing
are
a joke
going
on what
to
Brian
say?
said.
It's
Oh, good.
I found it.
Okay.
Cool, thanks, guys.
Can
that-
you imagine?
Was that just Matt barging
people
in,
are
or was there an
going to be
inside
online,
joke
and
about
that it
the
was
wallet
Listen.
with Travis?
Mercer who did it. I
he
don't
was,
know
like,
where your
rubbing it in
wallet
his
is, my
face, like-
friend, but we are going to get to
I
the
don't know.
bottom
I
of
feel like
it
there's
right
more to that
now.
story.
I promise you,
She just poked
not
him
another
in the
minute will
butthole.
go by on this program before we get that wallet back.
No, we found it.
We are going to answer.
We found his
he
wallet.
already
We'll be
left.
here till midnight. I want to answer every question, whether they're good or not.
He got his.
We
he
found
got
his wallet.
He got
We
his
found it.
wallet.
He got, well, mine's missing
fine.
now. I can't find mine.
Oh, did you just take yours?
Oh,
Wait a second.
I need to buy some things.
Was this whole thing just so he could come in and get? I didn't even feel him touch my ass, or maybe I did.
Mercer works in mysterious ways.
Boy, well, you know what?
Did he
next week,
touch my- yeah.
let's send out an email
There's a lot of ass
and let's
grabbing
let
going
everyone
on
know
here.
that next week, starting on Talks Machina, we are.
Interruption free?
Ben said it's possible next week we could get a sponsorship from Netscape. We are not going to get a sponsorship from Netscape if someone's in here showing their ass.
Okay, okay. No more shenanigans. No more
No,
shenanigans.
you can't show your
No more
ass.
shenanigans.
Seduces Clay has a question.
Seduces
real name?
Clay.
We could have gotten
Oh,
to that instead of
Travis
dealing
hasn't
with
been
this.
I
around
want
for
to know more about
Seduces
the snapping
Clay.
turtle.
Me
Fuck
too.
We have had
forward.
many
Yeah,
from
talk to us
Seduces
about
Clay.
that.
I dig it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
so
I'd put it
funny.
up there,
I
top
had some
10,
made up
easily
story
top 10.
about eating, I don't know.
guys know my favorites.
LSD
Pull-Out King,
ridden bread and
Oreo
no.
teabagging. Oreo
The mold in the
teabagging
bread?
Yeah, sure.
might still be my
Tripping
favorite.
out while swimming underneath
We have
the
our
boat.
squeef,
and
obviously,
turtles.
but
What
he's-
kind, are
he's
you
a-
afraid of any
he's a
animals?
well-known
Are there
one.
is there a type of animal that you're afraid
Don't
of?
like spiders very
Okay.
much.
This I know.
Yeah, I do not like
Yeah,
spiders.
we've heard this many
That's
times.
I think that's
I'm
about it.
Similar, I've told you guys, but I
what about
forget.
you,
I
Ash?
think
Like
Travis
large
actually
apex
is like
predators, I'm not super
genuinely like
fond of
Yeah,
afraid
same.
of them, whereas
I don't
just,
like
I
spiders.
just hate them. I just
I
like
don't
I'm
like them.
annoyed
They're
by
so
them, let's
quiet.
say.
You can't see them. They're too small. They can just the tiniest little thing and it can kill you. I'm weird. I don't mind snakes. I don't mind
I don't really
I
care
don't-
about it much.
even like great whites.
If anything, I'm afraid of. It's not
Like, if I
because
saw
of what
one
they
out in the
are. It's because
wild,
I
like a
don't want
great
to
white
fight
shark.
for
Like
it.
walking
What would you
It'll
do
die.
if you saw one out in the
But I'm not
wild?
like afraid
Like, if
of
I was in the
anything.
ocean, I would
I'm afraid of a
definitely
bear
panic.
if it's sitting right here in
But
front
they're
of me.
also
'cause
amazing
it'll eat me.
creatures. Spiders,
Okay.
I don't.
Bear.
If we're gonna have kids,
but here's the thing.
some of these mindsets are gonna need to. Right, Travis?
I wouldn't kill a great
You're gonna
white.
swim up to a great
I
white.
wouldn't kill a great white. I would gladly kill a spider.
The funny thing is, I
Sorry.
have avoided
But
killing
I actually don't really mind tarantulas because they have hair.
Whites
We have
are one of
spider
the
catchers
most underhugged
that let you
animals
put
on
them
the planet.
outside
Yeah,
and
that's
like
good.
actually
Steve just made
get
a
rid
great
of
one.
them
He said
without
spiders will
harming
go in
them.
your mouth.
And I'm not
You'll
about
go in a
killing
great white's
anything.
mouth.
I'm just
God,
a,
Steve, we gotta
just
get
a
you.
happy
We need to
guy.
get him mic'd up.
Yeah,
Nat Geo's gonna come pick him
yeah.
up. and we'll be-
Spiders. I'm not into them.
Well, do you feel like you got enough time to answer that one, Travis, or should we? I'm okay with kind of
I
going.
think so. I can only hear out of this
Corn
ear
Corn right.
now. So yeah.
Did a cockroach climb in there? Do we have a broke
Oh
down palace?
God!
That's good.
Good shot.
I saw just a black shape coming
Yeah.
out from the.
Smacked him in the face, right?
I
It
wonder
looked like
what
it
he was gonna
smacked him
hit
right
you
in the
It's like a stuffed animal or something. It had mass.
He nailed you in the face.
Yeah, it was in the face. Okay.
shot.
In my head, I'm like, I
He's really
swear
good at
that was
sports.
right in the cheek.
Why is
It was
Matt's
like a
wallet a
bitch slap in the
Scorsese
cheek.
extra thick?
But then I'm like, maybe I'm
know.
crazy. Maybe it was
He's
like his
walking
chest
around
or his
like-
The man
shoulder.
That's
who's
a-
done web
Got
media
smacked
for
in the-
most of his
in the
adult
kisser,
life. He's,
right in the kisser.
he's fond of props.
Keeping track of a lot of receipts.
Have a new respect.
Ashley.
Walking weapon.
A new
Hey,
respect
look at
for
those
walking
beautiful
weapons.
tankards you're both, those barbarians are
What?
showing off here.
Who would
Those
like to
are,
rage? We would like to rage.
those are available now in the
Gift store?
shops.
I don't think I've seen that.
Ashley, were
the
you
Critical Role
annoyed at
gift
the
store? I don't know
dice
if I've
preventing
seen that.
Yasha
I kinda
from
dig it.
breaking her restraints, or
Maybe
did
it
it
was like a
seem
limited
apt
time.
that she needs more time to grow stronger as a person?
It seemed to make sense to me. There's a part of me that thinks that even if I would have rolled really high, it wasn't the time.
I
And-
think it could have been the time.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I don't
I
know
think
how.
26 or higher, because Matt
I
made
don't,
it seem
I don't
like
fully know Matt's brain. I mean, maybe
I don't know.
could've
Yeah,
gotten out of
I'm
it, but I
kinda
think
where
it
she's
makes
at.
sense for the journey of the character.
I agree with her,
And-
but I feel like if you rolled high enough,
know for
Matt
me, I
would've let
never knew it
happen.
was a possibility
Maybe it
to
wasn't
even-
right timing, but Matt would have probably let
Maybe
it
one
happen.
day grow feathers on Yasha's wings because
Feathers on the wings.
it's never been that way. So
Yeah.
that was a shock to me, and but I think
Feathers on the wings.
there's still.
I don't know what the heck. My arm is itching like crazy. Maybe
You
I
never
got
thought it was a possibility?
poison.
No. So I think it's a.
Maybe I got
Cool.
poison sumac.
Yeah, because you got a little
Yeah.
emotional in that moment.
Yeah.
That was a surprise to
That
you.
was it was a
I went with sumac
surprise,
'cause
and
everyone
I
says
think
Ivy, and I felt like no one gives love to
I
sumac.
think it was just a glimpse of where she could one day be, and I think that was a communal conversation to her saying that, hey, you're on the right path, and I think that was pretty cool. I'm glad it didn't just happen in that moment.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure
was-
I have
that
that
was- even
exact
for me,
same
personally,
pattern
I
shirt,
was-
like a
I was like,
button-down
oh.
shirt, just like that, but like a short sleeve guy.
There's so
fit.
much.
That
There's,
might
there's
even be a guy
more
fit
to
shirt.
go, more to happen, and
Yeah.
it was cool. That was
Yeah.
really cool.
She might be wearing Brian's
I
clothes.
know.
What does it mean? I don't know. I don't know.
Not to be crass, because we're doing this new Talks Machina now.
Sure.
People have
Yes.
spoken
Yes. We're
and
serious.
are listening.
We're serious.
Not to be crass, but I am very jealous of what Jester's doing right now.
Oh my god.
My God.
Listen, I feel like
Not
it's
to be
always been
crass.
Not. To
I feel like it's a tradition that I always hold her.
Yep.
And then it's always like Laura Bulu is here.
Are we putting down the iPad because we're doing something to replace GIF of the week? He said
Travis.
something new was on the horizon. Oh, he picked up the iPad thing.
The thing
is that
from
an
the
iPad?
commercial with the cookie. How was it being squishier than Caleb this episode? Did it affect the way you put you, the way you slash
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, Ford
Ford
got
took
to a
part in
point where he had
battle.
less max hit
I
I have to
points
stop now that
than
we're doing
Caleb
the thing. I
did
can't do the thing anymore.
levels
Yeah.
ago.
Remind me
It was like
next week to
38
stop.
max hit points.
Yeah,
at
no,
a
it
po- at a point.
absolutely did. I actually got a fairly good tip before the episode just because I was going like, I have never had this low of hit points since like level 1 or 2 or whatever.
I'm trying
and
to
I'd
remember
forgotten
what he
that Armor of
started with.
Agathis cast at a higher level means more temporary hit points, more
I
damage done when
I
you
guess
get hit.
it would
so
make sense that he would have
I just
been
went into a defensive
point, like,
posture
early on.
for everything and practiced a
Cast
little.
defense on yourself.
Yeah, practiced a little Caleb distance from the action when I could. I still like to get in there and mix it up, but you also don't want to become like a liability because you're a dead meat sack on the floor that's got to get drug out and revivified.
I wouldn't
What
know what
were
that's
you-
like.
You're a
Wizard.
You said a liability. That's like a dead meat sack dragging around on the. You just described me perfectly.
Down
meat
to a
sack.
T.
You're my meat
liability.
sack.
That's a dead meat sack. Oh God.
That was so lovely and hallmarky. Look, you choked him up. Yep, take his hand.
You're my
embrace.
meat sack.
I really mean it.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I can hear the Sarah McLachlan playing in the background.
I am Mr. Your Meat Sack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you hear that, Henry?
Henry is
No
gone.
response.
Henry is gone.
No
I didn't even see an
response.
We
eye
should
move.
probably get rid of Henry too.
Oh.
Henry is
He looks a
out.
little
Not
sunburned.
even
Draw
a
the
twitch.
line.
But he
Not
knocked
even
over
a
the thing
twitch.
last week, leading to those shenanigans. We
No, it was
cannot.
Brian.
I'm telling you guys,
Brian
there are
was at
big
fault.
things at play. The Cheese
They
Whiz,
knocked over a cup
the spin-off
because
company of
Brian
Cheese Whiz
insisted
emailed about
that Henry go
sponsoring
on
a
the
segment
couch.
on the
He
show. It's going
insisted
to take
it.
16
And he
minutes.
Who's the
caused the
spin-off
chaos.
company?
I can't mention them because we're still in
Sure,
talks.
sure,
You
sure.
can
It's
see
going to take
Towson
16 minutes of
was
the
like,
show. But Max
I don't
has
know if
looked
that's
at
a
the
good
PowerPoint
idea,
they
and he
sent.
like made him.
It's pretty cool. Has nothing to do with D&D. Has nothing to do with Critical Role. Has nothing to do with Cheese Whiz.
Oh.
But it's still
Nothing
kind of
to do with
interesting.
Cheese
Okay.
We can't land a deal like that if
Nothing
you don't
to do
answer
with
this question
Cheese
from
Whiz.
8574, Travis and Ashley. What went through your mind when we revisited Where Do You Find Your Strength? One of the coolest moments of Campaign 2.
Yes.
Easily.
Because
Where do you find your
you
strength?
know,
Right
no
away, I'm like
spoilers
Friends.
for people that
You gotta
aren't
say
caught up yet on
Friends.
Campaign 1.
Anything else would sound
But there was some
selfish or wrong.
similarities.
I mean, you
so
can
rad.
combine the two.
We have to talk about this. Just say there's campaign 1 spoilers. Let's go into it.
No, yeah, so mute your Twitch. There's a button right here
What?
that you can turn the volume down. Is that right, Zach?
What is this?
The volume button about right here? Thank you. If you are not caught up on Campaign 1, just go ahead and mute this. And then when you
Being
gonna
on
have to
you.
go
I
back.
was not prepared for that in any way, much
I'm
less
gonna have
from
to
a
skip.
big old hulking
They're talking
half-orc
major
that
spoilers
is,
for
you
Campaign
know,
1. I ain't dealing
has
with
all the
that.
size and intimidation that goes
I
along
mean, it
with
might be
that
stuff I
think
already
Ford
know, but I ain't
wished he
taking a
had.
chance.
And it was crazy because fucking Matt's just too good.
Watersh,
Like,
the blacksmith.
That was.
Yeah, because we
was-
haven't. I guess we
I was
haven't
not
talked to
ready
Travis
to have that
since
kind of
the
a
whole thing with
conversation, and he
Warsh.
just kept like, you know when you're pissed, and you want the other person to like be pissed or respond to you in the same sort of like heated way, and
Yeah.
they just respond like calmly, and they're like,
You're like, no.
this is agitating you, isn't it? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I'm
it was-
fine.
Yeah, it was just like that. I was like, I don't want to talk about why I feel this way. And yes, people treat me like shit. Yeah, it gets under my skin. I don't want to say any of that.
That's because Warsh was
You-
like, stop
You
letting
big
it get to you.
blacksmith, half-orc meanie.
Warsh was right. He's a good dude. Seems like a good
I
dude.
mean,
I hope we see him again.
it's such a cool parallel for why D&D is awesome because the next like 5 to 7 minutes after that was over with, all I was thinking about was like,
My
I gotta
apologies.
go back and talk to him. What would I talk to him about? Do I be honest? Do I ask him about? I'm like, Jesus, stop. Focus on. No, I should ask him more questions. Like, where are you coming from? What does this mean about me? It was just awesome and unexpected. So.
I feel like nothing drives me more crazy
Claude.
with this game than the conversations that I didn't have.
Yeah.
I
thinking
feel
of-
that. I felt that in some sessions.
Maybe I should have gone to go talk to
I
so-and-so.
highly
because
agree with
maybe
that
they would've
statement. There are
helps me
so many
figure
things,
some
like when Matt
shit
rips
out,
up
and
the
you're like,
papers.
what am
Well,
I doing?
Yeah.
there
That week you're
goes
just
an
thinking
entire
I'm thinking more so
storyline
of
out the window.
conversations in a fantasy world than
Blew up the
Yeah.
goblin. We
my own life.
And you want to stay like engaged,
we
and you
gotta
have
bring
to
up the
track
goblin.
what's going
Frying
on,
the
but you
goblin.
can't help but like analyze what just happened. And
we're still
you feel like
possibly
in the
gonna
moment you're representing
entertain
yourself
something to do
well,
with
Yeah,
that,
and then you're like,
potentially,
that
with
was
the goblin.
shit.
Shit, there's so much more that I could have said. And
I know.
I'd be surprised
there's
if
more sessions.
something
I don't want to make things
related
about
to
your
the
looks,
goblin
you know, 'cause that's
doesn't come
degrading,
up.
but
Unless, was that
your hair
last
looks fucking
episode? I
awesome
feel like that was
tonight.
this
oh,
episode, right?
thank you.
Maybe that happened last
Everything's
episode
just working
into
out
this
great.
episode.
All right.
What about
Thanks,
Shirt,
babe.
the glisten of that ring that
What about
keeps
your-
blinding me because it's so magnificent.
other?
Engaged with ring.
I can see a little bit of your legs, and that's making me really happy. Love those shoes.
Thanks.
Brian's getting weird.
What about your other?
Turn to the left.
Oh, speaking of you, Ashley, a question
to the
from
left.
T.
She's
Mandy
voguing.
II.
Ashley's
We talked about the
voguing.
wings earlier a little
Yes.
bit. Does Yasha feel pain or have bad memories while unfurling her wings? Does Yasha not like having them out?
There's
Probably the
there's
way
no
they are.
pain involved in it. I think it's well,
Emotional pain?
maybe emotional
It's like
pain
Wolverine.
because it's one of those things where I think there's been
Wolverine
lot of
claims it hurts every
judgment in
time.
it,
Every time
and
he
I think it's one of those things
claims it
where
hurts. But I guess after a while, you just get used to the pain.
she kind of
To
has
the
a
pain.
chip on her shoulder about it, where like people were so scared of it for so long, or whenever it would happen, and then I think now it's like, yeah, it's really fucking ugly. Why don't you look at it? And I think now it's a maybe she used it to push people away, just as a
Makes sense.
protection, maybe,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Makes
It's one of
sense.
those things of
Self-preservation, maybe.
yeah. I think she's got a lot of layers of stuff
Yeah.
of just walls and things. Now I feel like I'm talking about myself.
Oh my god! I was like, why is she getting weird?
No, but isn't that crazy?
I thought maybe she like
Yeah, and then
almost
I was
slipped.
like,
are.
I
but
was
she's
like, uh-oh, this feels like therapy.
Welcome to Talks
See,
Machina.
that's what Talks Machina could be if you guys would stop fucking around all the time. We're getting down to some real
He's
shit
gotta be
here.
making
We're
jams
doing
at
It
this
people.
for
doesn't
2
matter
years.
how extreme
I say it all the time.
or fantastic
I'm like, I
or
get
strange your character
when I go
is,
off
like,
on a
you
rant
always
how I
end up
lose track
peeking
sometimes.
through.
Yes.
Yes.
It sucks.
You know?
Of course.
But I mean,
And
it's
your
all good
friends
fun.
draw that out of you too.
And I think
Yeah.
when they
Your
do
friends
it,
draw
great.
that
I
out
love
of you
it.
because
You can see that
one
I
person is
I
willing to
wouldn't
make
mind
a little step
if
in the
I watched
game,
myself, because
and then you
they
go
do-
like,
they do
oh,
similar
that looked
things,
like
I
that
feel
felt
like.
good.
They get all off
Like,
track.
you know,
Yeah.
you
The
know
only
what I mean?
difference
I
with
need
them
to
is they're
unpack a little as
talking
well.
over somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just
that.
off
Yeah.
track. and
Travis.
not doing D&D stuff.
Pamerica Chavez. Ford seemed far more
Pamerica Chavez. Is it
standoffish in his
Pamerica?
conversation
It could
with
be
Wersh
Pamerica.
than the smooth charmer we're used to seeing around strangers. What was it about that conversation that seemed to tense him more than usual? Did we talk about that earlier or no?
I mean, a little bit, but it was. He was diving in. He was so direct with Ford, and so is Matt. Was just like once he locks in on you and he's direct, and it's like there's also some small judgment that's happening from character to character that I felt so unsettled that I just went the poker route and just like locked my face and tried to stare at him, even though I just wanted
So
to get
just
the fuck
have
out of there.
no
And I eventually was like,
reaction.
I walk away, and he still like called after him. I was like, "Hey, you stop!" And I was like, "Fuck." Oops. Turn around. I was like, "What?"
You're like trying to get through to Matt, like, not right now.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it like it's not even me at that point. I haven't thought about how Ford would communicate how he feels in relation to humans and how they have treated him, and especially with like the other group being around. And I think there's like ego at play there. Like I think he doesn't want to show weakness or vulnerability around the rest of the group, especially when it hasn't been talked about before, and he didn't bring it up. I think he wanted to do it on his own terms. I wanted to do it on my own terms. What the fuck's the third person about? Yeah, like it just, you don't get to
Everyone's
dictate those
getting
things
very
in
deep
life,
into
and you
their
don't get to
characters.
dictate them in the game, and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you handle it well, and sometimes you don't. I don't think I or Ford handled it well. We were just on our heels.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Jesus.
thinking about it later, and
I
you're like,
feel like if I
we
didn't
should've
say
said
it,
that.
which I feel like I might have
When you
said
have an
something,
argument with
I
somebody
think
and then you only
Absolutely.
think of a
should've
good, you only think of a good response
dropped
when
his
you're in
guard
the
a little
shower.
and
Yeah,
been
and you're
more
like,
later.
fucking said that. And then you know when you go
inquired
back and
more
you try to
about
bring it up
stuff.
again, it's just not the same.
put up
It's
a
lost the
very
oomph. The
strong
person doesn't
guard.
react in the way you were fantasizing. they
Yeah,
would.
yeah. And you're like, God.
I worked all of this out in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like when you're going through the drive-thru at Burger King, and then the girl's like, "Nice hat, asshole," and then you leave and you almost get home, and then
Look
you're
at
like,
him sitting
"Fuck,
there."
I thought of the right thing to say." So then you
go back to the
and-
drive-thru.
but they had a shift change and she's
Yeah.
gone. So
don't
then
know
you
if
wait
that's-
outside and go, "What's the max amount of hours?" Are going to be between now and when
my
she's
God,
going to
I
come
hope it
back to
keeps
work.
going.
Because she doesn't need
hope
to
it
be
keeps going
in
for
the
like 10 more
drive-through
minutes.
window for me to hurl the insult back at her. I can do it while she's walking.
I don't know if that applies.
You okay, buddy?
It's really, he really cracked himself up with that one.
Are we getting
Look at his face!
tears?
Oh my God,
We
he's
have
turning
tears coming?
red as a tomato.
That was
I
a
wanted
long
to see.
one.
Yeah, I wanted to see how long he'd take it. Oh my God, he is red.
Fan art of the week.
Gonna have fan art of the week. I love it. I love how he went into it. Fan art of the week as he's. Look at his head. His whole entire head, from his neck up, is
boy.
redder
Come on, babe.
than I've ever seen his body get.
Hey, stop it. This is serious.
This week's fan art winner for Campaign 2, Episode 60 was sent in by Laura Langston.
Laura
At
Langston.
Laura Illustrate, let's take a look.
Oh, he cleared
So
up.
serious.
Oh my God, that looks very South Parky.
That is
crazy,
awesome.
Tell me that doesn't. I don't know
What the heck?
why.
I haven't seen that. It's very like Mary.
We've never really
That's
featured
so
something
unique.
like this.
Why do I feel like
That
maybe not
is
South Park,
awesome.
like
Talk to
Team
us about
America?
it.
I don't know. That's I dig
is
it,
that the
but that is
fu-
that is an interesting
pretty
style.
Oh,
I
I
dig it
love
for its
that.
uniqueness. There's a lot
What?
going on there.
Wow.
That is so
That's so
cool.
great.
I dig it. It was I need to see it again because there was a lot
There's a
going on.
lot going on,
But I
man.
mean, that definitely wins
Come
for
on, you
being
peanuts,
unique
lock it
in
up.
style and everything else.
Come on, string beans.
Lots of weird shit's happening. Thank you to everyone who
That owl got in his head.
submitted.
Submit came in
Ooh.
real
wow.
nice with the fade there. I
Submit.
like it. Oh my God, I wish
Nope.
I wish it like split.
Congrats to you,
I wish
Laura.
when he went like this, the words
You have
split.
won this Lacewood tabletop dice tray.
Put your nose in it. Go for it.
Wow.
Gotta stop smelling the wormwoods. That's
He's
gotta
clearly
go.
Yeah, it's
That's too
dangerous.
high
not
of a bar for
meaning
Too much wormwood
what he
is-
said about
Can go get.
turning the show into something more serious because he is taking it to another level. Look what we're doing right now.
Look at those tears. Tears of sincerity.
See, I hope
You
you
can
do this
enter our
every
weekly
episode.
contest
Tell me that doesn't make
by
it better.
emailing your
Tell me
fan
this
art
doesn't make the show better. If
to
people
submit.
are really writing in that there's too much goofing around, then you don't know how to have fun. This is about having fun and questions about
Rules
D&D.
for our
I feel like
contests are available
it's part of the show.
at critroll.com.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Danny.
I could watch
You were
this
totally
for 10
right
hours.
about the thing
I
we
would
talked
literally
about
watch
during spoilers.
them hanging out, randomly bullshitting
That
about
did not
Critical
happen.
Role for
What
5
I said
hours.
happened. That didn't happen.
If
Never
they
mind.
just were chaotic like this.
Ron was
I watch
right.
it all the time.
Danny was wrong.
When I'm done with these and I edit them
lost.
up, I go watch
What does she mean?
old
Will we
podcasts
ever know?
and like
Probably not.
3 hours of people
Instead,
just
Ashley
bullshitting
can
in a
answer
room,
this
like
question.
hanging
Okay.
out.
From Wally
love it.
Wests. Caduceus had some
Wally
odd,
West.
vague, and yet fairly apt words of advice for Yasha regarding gods and signs and communication. How does she feel about this? Especially as the two are starting to grow a little closer as friends. Did it help?
Interesting. I like it. Let's hear.
Definitely.
Boom.
I think
I just want to see how much time we got left because, all right,
know.
20 minutes. About 20 minutes.
I think Caduceus is
Because we had to skip a little bit, and I was like, how much did it actually skip? 5 minutes?
and also just Taliesin in general. But I think the way he's also playing Caduceus and how lovely and wonderful and full of light Caduceus is, I think he's like a Yasha
It
is
sounds like
is
something
going
like
towards
kicked
him
in like
a
a
moth,
generator.
and
But like in the in
I think his
where
words
they
of
are,
wisdom
not
are
where I
something
am.
that she definitely takes in. I think she's also at the point in her life where she's like, I'll any advice anybody has at this point, I'm open to listen. But I think Caduceus especially, I think they have a really cool connection that is going to grow.
I would
hope
agree
it
with
does.
this.
Who knows?
I mean, I
Maybe
think
they'll end up
everyone's
dating
going to
each other,
grow
hopefully not.
in a cool way with
No, I hope
Caduceus.
not.
I feel like
I mean, unless
Caduceus
I
is
don't.
just that
But
guy.
I think what they have so
where
far
he'll be the
is
one people
pretty
confide in
special.
because he's
Do you feel
chill,
like
non-judgmental,
if she...
and he's easy to talk to.
You're not going to be able to answer that. Fuck. Hashtag cancel blind spot. I am so sorry, you guys.
Hashtag
Dickmon.
cancel
Question for
blind
Travis.
spot.
Dickamon?
And the show does get
Dickmon.
canceled. Dicky
Ford
Mon.
made a big show in front of
we've
Jester
gone
when
over
killing
this
the
name many
jellyfish.
times. Dicky
What was
Mon.
going through your mind when
Dicky
Matt
Mon.
initially mentioned the jellyfish? Did he make it a point to show off that kill in front of Jester?
Answer the question,
Quite
Travis.
a moment.
Answer
Boy,
the
that just
question,
seems like
Travis.
so much implied in that question. Just pointing out his marksmanship, excellence with the old Eldritch Blast.
Duh. Look at Ford.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
All right, if
Ashley.
you say so.
Mouser 1991 wants to know.
Mauser.
That's a great name.
Captain Mauser.
Do you know what? Christina wasn't even born
Is
in
that
19.
Police Academy reference? 1991.
There's this person
Captain
that started
Mauser?
working here and works here for now.
Stop it! Don't be an ageist.
Named
Mauser.
Christina.
It was
who
around
reminds
late
us all
80s.
the
It was
time.
probably late
Did you
80s.
guys know I wasn't born when
real
that
though?
movie came out that you're talking
Not
about?
relevant.
Do you know I wasn't born when that album came out that you're talking about? They make it a point to,
Yes.
you know, remind us of how old we are. If anyone's ageist,
Sure. Okay.
look outside these doors,
Well-
my friend. And let's have a. Ashley, does Yasha know she's an Asimir, or does she think she's just kind of a
Nope, there's
weird
the question
human?
again.
What was that word you just said?
What
Asimir? Asimir. He said an
Fine,
Asimir.
I pronounce it wrong all
She's
the
a,
time.
no, she's
Asmar?
an Asimir. dude.
What is it?
Have you seen
Asimar.
Asimar.
Ass?
Is it Asimar?
No, it's
Yasha does
Asimir,
have a
dude.
great ass.
Yasha's got a
Asimir.
great ass.
She got a great.
Great ass.
That's Heat, right?
It's from yeah.
Al Pacino from Heat. There we
You're gonna
go.
marry that girl.
One
You
of
are
the
my
greatest
density.
Fucking do
Al
it as soon
Pacino
as-
lines of all
after it
time.
comes along.
She's got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
What was
love
the
it.
question again? No, just she knows if she's an
Does she
If
know
I had a
she's
more
got
rested
the
voice, I
Asimir?
could do a pretty good impression. But I'm not going to try now. My voice is gone.
Compose
That's a
yourself,
very good
Travis.
question. I'm trying to think of how to answer this.
That is kind of a tough one to answer, isn't it?
Look at what? Oh,
I think she
Travis!
thinks she's a kind of just weird.
Look how long that
She's just kind of
freaking
weird.
There's a-
string
there's-
is.
And I think that's all I can say about that.
Okay.
I love how he
quite
played it off though.
Okay.
Fabulous. He doesn't
I
realize it's
understand that.
all on his lap.
For both
oh,
of
he
you,
is
from
playing it. He
Tiefling
does
Demigod,
realize.
aren't those the best?
That was
kind?
great. That was fabulous. He played it off
Thoughts on the
fabulously.
charred, now dead, nameless goblin?
Fantastic. Oh, it's still threaded a
There
little.
were theories. There were theories. I got tweets that said Brian sat there, just feet from the table this week with his guest partner.
Ready to go on stage?
Sitting there.
Yep. That's hilarious. That would have been amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
there we go.
I tried to ask him in game if he really tore up a character sheet, but he looked like he did. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm
Fucking
talking
blew
about,
him.
where
I'd be
those are the things that
surprised-
drive you crazy in the game.
yeah.
I don't think Matt
That's
will
what we were
ever
talking about
tell us.
earlier.
And
As
Liam
soon as
is
she
like
said things that'll drive you
pesticide for
crazy, I'm
poor
like, gotta
underpowered
speak of the
guest
goblin.
NPC characters. Like,
Yes.
But I feel like he
He
could have
is-
used all
He's
that
not even playing a
wonderful
rogue this
storytelling.
time.
nope.
I
I'm
guess
just gonna
Matt
send a
doesn't play
fucking
like
giant
that.
fireball
Matt
down into this. What was it?
starts
Flaming
fresh.
spear
Yeah,
fireball.
Flaming sphere.
Yeah.
Which is not fun to say during recap, by the way.
Flaming sphere.
Flaming
Flaming
sphere.
sphere.
Flaming sphere.
I wanted
Flaming
to-
sphere. Whoa.
3 times fast. Ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Flaming sphere.
Flaming sphere.
Flaming
Flaming
sphere.
sphere.
Nice.
We did it.
I don't know if I'm flaming
like I did it
flare?
really
What is
slow,
it? I don't even think I was saying the right
I'm
word.
proud.
You took a break.
I would try it, but I ended up saying something we can't say on Twitch.
Sure.
Did you guys feel like you got to answer that enough? Do you want to
Yeah,
try saying
I wanna
it
know
5
more.
times?
Oh, maybe the host quit rushing us. Jeez.
I want to know more, but I know we won't because
Maybe
Saved
if
it.
the
He's
not
host
Russian,
quit
Irish.
rushing us.
Captain Goldbeard has a question.
I've never
Question
seen or
from
heard of
Carry
this
On
man.
Barrington.
Captain Goldbeard.
Arrgh.
No spoilers. You've been playing Ford a lot more vocally, actively, and lightheartedly for the last 2 sessions, using your charisma and
I would agree.
mind-bending powers more. Can we expect more charismatic Ford in the future, or was that just the cough syrup talk? As some of the folks at home might know. you were feeling ill last week a little bit.
Indeed. On the road to recovery.
Him and Marisha seemed to be pretty giddy. They were
I
laughing
don't know. I
and
look
giggling their
forward
heads
to
off. I
Thursday
thought they were
nights
doing
because
a
they
good
are
old-
just
well,
a chance
could've
for
been
us
the
all
Cubs here.
to
Perfect
unplug
example.
and
Good.
forget the rest of the day
Yeah,
and
correct.
like, vanish. And when Matt pulls out amazing shit like the Stormlord and stuff, I get super excited. I also don't really remember that I'm on camera, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah.
The vocal stuff is, I think Ford was just real serious before, trying to be something that I think he found himself in a position of leadership or guidance, and I don't think he necessarily wanted that. And now that that's not necessarily the case, I think he's just kind of trying to relax a little bit more.
That
and
looks very comfortable.
find
I keep
himself.
looking at the sweater.
and uses charisma
that
more too.
was
I
threaded
think that's
500 feet.
something he has underused in
It
his
looks quite warm. And
his
I love it.
previous exploits. So I think he's trying to see where it can take him.
What's your charisma again?
It's like +8 or something. It depends on what it is. Yeah, high deception, high persuasion.
Charismatic AF.
Yeah, AF.
I don't think it's AF. I
Yeah.
think it's A. Is it AF, Steve, or is
No, it's
it
F.
AF? How are the
AF.
kids doing it out there? You're
It's
out.
F.
Charismatic
It's F.
AF.
It's AF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's AF. Oh, but Steve's
Charismatic
Canadian,
AF.
so it's AF.
AF.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Charismatic AF.
That's cool, man.
Charismatic
So when
AF.
you're on
Charismatic
Xbox
AF.
Live with your pals, right? Are you like, yo, I'm fucking lit, AF? I just rolled up some
Is that
blue
a
green
thing? I don't think I've ever heard
put on
it.
a little.
I've told you
no
guys.
more tears.
The arcade is a much younger crowd. And
Simple
Plan.
two of the people that
Okay.
work for me
That's a
are
good
in high
feedback,
school.
Max. Where do you?
So,
how do you feel about
I
Simple
hear
Plan?
a lot of the lingo.
Oh, he gave you
and
the-
I've never heard
Yeah,
of
a
that.
lot of people
I mean,
don't know
granted,
this
this
is
is
a
like 2-3 years
podcast.
ago. But I don't
You
ever
have to
remember
actually
hearing that.
talk. You can't just.
And I always
Yeah.
have young people work for me.
Also, too, guys, another thing, reason why we need to stick to the script here. Gautier is interested in redoing our theme song for Talks Machina.
Oh man, he was
Gautier?
somebody I used to know.
We're not going to get
Somebody I
Danny
used to know.
Carr.
Yeah, I knew right away.
Shame
Now
on
you're just
you.
somebody that I used to know. That was playing on the radio every
Too
5
fast
minutes
and
for
too
like a
good.
year or two.
The jokes can't be too. Oh, no.
Way before this
sinister
came out, I
laugh.
feel like.
God, don't do that.
That
I
actually
remember
could
that
have been
being a
pretty
thing,
good if
like,
she had broken into
10
maniacal
years
laughter
ago
just
at
then.
least. Had to be at least 10 years
I'll
ago.
never zoom in on my
Gautier.
face again.
Now you're just somebody that I used
Ashley,
Yep.
what's going on, big boys?
They're
Probably
just getting
way more
comfy.
Do you want this pineapple? Ashley,
Yes.
Les Brinian wants to know.
Okay.
Yasha's been pretty. Well, it's over here if you want it, okay? That's a good boy. Yeah.
I remember when that pineapple
That tail's made of
was
Teflon.
new.
Now.
Yasha's
I'm
been
pretty sure we saw it when it was
tight-lipped about
brand
her
new.
backstory
Looks like
with
it's
only Jester and Cad
had
knowing
better
about
days.
her wife. He's a distraction. We should just leave him at home. He's a
Shut your
distraction
damn
for
mouth.
me.
Host the show.
We've seen this
After
before.
this conversation with the Stormlord in her
This-
dreams,
this
is she
person.
more interested in talking to the group about her past and opening up more in general? What's it gonna take? What's it
Yeah.
gonna take?
We'll see. I mean, we'll see if
I feel like
how
it's got to
those
be the timing. Like
conversations
we'll
come
have to,
up.
yeah,
I think
we'll have to see.
You also, as a person, probably need time at the table to feel comfortable because
100%.
you're gone working on hashtag and something.
Yeah. It's and that's another obviously layer of just like getting back in the groove. And,
Yeah.
like I said last week, this is a table of very, very good players and jumping in and it's just getting comfortable. But I think it's what happened with her wife is definitely, of course, a sore spot because of the I don't know, choices she made.
Why did you cut that off so
Yeah,
quick.
because I
Start
feel like
digging.
she's going
Sounds
to
like you were about to.
dangerous
Answers. I'm
territory.
telling you.
No, I think it's not embarrassing. It's so much more than that. It's telling people how, that you made a decision that was very not brave,
She's
not
being
courageous,
very
and
careful.
very
She
terrible.
is tiptoeing around.
She
and I don't blame her.
ran.
I
So
feel
I
like,
don't think
or
it's like,
she
let
just
me
doesn't
tell
know
you
how
what
to
I
report.
did.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's feeling
Nobody likes
comfortable.
talking about their mistakes.
Nobody likes talking about their mistakes, you know, because you want people to think you're better than you are most of the time.
Yep.
So I think there's a comfortability that comes with getting to know people to get to a point to be like,
I've never
all right,
made a
here's all
mistake
my
in my
shit.
life, so
Yeah.
thank God.
Yeah,
I don't
still
have to
cool.
deal
Here's
with
still like
that.
me.
so cool, you still like me?
Here's my worst defining moment.
Yeah.
Of all the defining moments of my life, here's my worst one, everybody.
Yeah.
It takes me a while before I get to know
Here's
somebody
my
before
worst.
I can.
I wouldn't
That was like 2
necessarily
weeks
say.
before you told me all your bad shit, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
about
mean-
right. But see, I was gone for one of those weeks.
I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
very
also his,
openly-
most wanted thing
I
popped
talk
up on
about-
Google's.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
like
I've already
to
Googled
come
it,
out with just
so-
like
the
your
chip.
biggest
So when
flaws
I
or-
get
mean,
near
I get what
you,
you're
the
saying.
same thing
I get
happened
it.
to old Greg.
Yeah.
When I get close enough to you, if you have the app, it tells you, you know.
It sends like a migraine
Hide your
directly
shit.
to my temple, so I needed
Yeah.
to find out really fast so that I could like hear that.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Good plan.
Cattywampus for both of you.
Cattywampus.
Yes, I love Cattywampus, and I say it a lot.
Cattywampus.
You do.
10 minutes.
Well, Pike and
counting.
Grog were bestest buddies.
Ooh.
Oh, that's my best bud, Grog!
I love it.
Campaign 1. Spoiler alert. Wait, is this down,
Oh,
Zach?
take your damn finger off.
It's fine.
Pike
Well,
and Grog
Pike
were
and
friends.
Grog
You
were
already read it,
bestest
Brian.
buddies. Ford and Yasha haven't had much chance to build a rapport
Yeah,
yet.
Pike and Grog
Are you looking
are
forward to
great. It
forging
makes
a
me
connection?
like Pike more
and
because
where do you
Grog
think their common
has been
ground
a
lies?
favorite of mine.
Well,
Him and
both of you
Scanlan,
have played
my two
Yasha.
favorites.
That's where the
That's the
common
Grog
common
is probably my
ground.
favorite.
Yes.
It makes me
Play
like
Both of
Pike
you
more
kill
because
us
of
playing
the
Yasha.
bond they
I
have. If you are
am just
bond
after
with my
the
favorite
last
character,
episode because
I already like Pike to
Ford
begin
is
with, but it makes
very
Pike
interested in
jump
Caduceus'
a little bit
relationship
higher than
with the
some
Wild
others,
Mother
like
and
Keyleth.
how the
I
hell
love
that
Keyleth.
works. Jester and the
But if I have
Traveler,
to break
how
the
the hell
tie,
that
it's the
works.
bond with Grog.
And I'm sure he'll want to ask about the
And it's nothing to do with
thunderstorms that just
Marisha,
always seem
Because
to
Marisha's
follow the
got
group
Bo to be my favorite in
when
this.
Yasha is around, and what that means. Ford's relationship with his thing is not so bueno, and is not a two-way street, and he's not super happy with it. So I think he's looking to just to connect and kind of say like, hey, I know we don't know much, but I'll tell you some of my terrible stuff if you tell me yours.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's fun
Oh, that's
seeing
right. It's for
what
both of them.
sort of relationships pop up or obviously contrary to popular opinion, we do not plan anything. So it's interesting seeing what pop and you're like, oh,
Did she just
I'm
go-
having a conversation.
It looks
with
like
this
she
person about
intentionally
this
went
thing.
cross-eyed when she did that.
Yeah, I'm curious to
It
see
looks like
what.
she went like that. I don't know if that was
Yasha and
intentional or
Ford's-
not, but I
Like
think I
connection
saw
will
it.
be.
Will be.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, we don't. It's not that we don't plan anything. There are things that we want to do. No guarantee that shit's gonna happen. Or that
Yeah.
you'll pull it off in time, or that the scenario won't change. Like, you might have something you're like, okay, I'm gonna try and do this in this game if the moment's right. Fuck all the moments. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that definitely
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, you
all
think
the
about
moments.
stuff as you're driving. And,
Yes.
But
Like, oh, this would be cool, or maybe I should talk about this, or
I feel like Liam finds ways to squeeze his in, even if there isn't a moment in the episode.
before we go to bed, yes.
It always cracks me up. I'm like, you go for it, dude.
he does go for it. It's so
gets it,
fun
man.
watching
He
him
gets it.
play.
One of
I dig
my
it though.
favorite
I would want to play that way.
screen names coming up. What do you think about this shirt,
Is
Travis?
it Ario? What's his
Pretty
favorite?
slick. I
It's
gotta
either
say,
Pull
you
Out
wear
King,
it.
Ario
It's a throwback.
Yeah,
teabagging.
you wear it well.
Throwback.
I've been doing
else could it
I've
be?
been doing
Who
a
else
lot
could it
of
be?
working out.
I hope it's Ario teabagging.
I've been doing a lot of the
I feel like whenever he
ASMR.
says it, it's Ario teabagging.
I
It's
don't
my,
know
it's my
that that's
personal
related to
favorite.
working out.
Oh,
Yeah, working out your senses.
Working out my
Whisper training?
senses.
this question.
Been reading a lot of dictionary lately.
Dodecahedron.
Oh, cool.
Sit with that for a
Good
second.
job. Good job.
Dodecahedron.
Why was Ford so
right,
fucking
dodecahedron,
interested
dodecahedron.
in Suma's rituals?
That is not
Sorna.
Drawn.
Brian.
Dodecahedron.
He's only got one
Hedron.
contact in.
It says
Arn.
Suma.
Would
you
it
know?
be Daedron?
How did
Wait,
you know?
I say
Do you have the other contact?
What am I
When you were
putting it in
sucking
there
out my
for?
eye earlier,
I get
did
it.
you?
I dig it.
Whoa.
I get it.
Why was
I
Ford
was just in
so
my head,
interested
having
in
to repeat it
Sorna's
50 times.
rituals? What was he hoping to learn?
I mean, my
a good one.
patron
That's a good one.
requires
I dig
eyeballs.
it.
Of course, I was sucking on faucets.
This is not how that works.
That you know of.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's still super curious about the arcane, right? He wanted to visit the Soltris Academy and, you know, ask questions about this magical sword that washed up on the shore next to him, and now that's not really necessary because he has a pretty good idea where it came from and what it means and what, you know, the entity that gifted it
We also
to
had
him
that
once.
scrap of the
But
cobalt soul-looking
when he sees,
material that Bo was
you know, deities making contact
checking out.
with,
I don't think that's ever going to be a
you
thing.
know,
in
chosen
this,
chosen
for now,
individuals
at
or
least.
people, you know, exercising their ability to. She said like meditate and then also like to see, and you know, after seeing that large mask, he's like, is this part of it? Like, does this do something? Is this something that we can have? And finding out that it's not magic it's just kind of like
A bummer.
What is this thing and how does it relate to you? Oh, it's more of just something that you do. I also don't think he's come across many druids in his life. You know,
Probably
so,
not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
not.
Ashley, we only have a few
was a
minutes
sailor.
left, but one of our
Oop,
frequent
this could be the
question
last one.
askers. Oh no. People also complained about that we choose a lot of the same people for the questions. Here's why we do that, guys.
Because no one else.
Some of the questions really suck.
Oh my god.
Who would win in a fight? Like, there's only so many. Ford or Grog? Like,
Well, that's not a question.
if Ford and Grog both
Really
went to
isn't.
Subway, what would they order and how different? We can't ask
Spicy
questions
Italian
like
with
that.
extra meatballs.
Instead
we
of
would have an
choosing
answer for it,
questions like
Brian.
that, we chose a question
I
from
love how
Carno
Brian
lesbian
is
that goes like this.
taking on
Ashley,
the
Yasha
negativity.
apologized to
'Cause I do
Sorna
the
while
same
killing the
thing. You guys have
possessed
seen
stone
me.
giant corpse,
I attack
recognizing that they were
negativity head
still
on
her
if
people.
I see it getting out of control.
Where does that
in the
deep well of
channel.
compassion and
Doesn't
empathy
happen
in her
often.
come
It's
from?
happened like once.
That's why we asked the question, because it's a good one.
I see in the live stream once,
That is a
once
good
or
question.
twice.
That is a good question.
It's got a little crazy,
Pass
but
it on.
usually
Not
the dude
Machina asks very good
is like
questions.
everyone. By the time I even notice something's going on, the dude
I
is
did
like,
not pass
yep.
the cough syrup.
A lot of the
puffed,
times it's
puffed, and
jokes.
then
I think it's happened
puffed
like
it,
once
yeah.
or twice where it was like
Gotta quit
serious.
freebasing
That is
that night.
And it was
Wow.
nothing
And
even that
selfish.
crazy. It was
Well,
just
That was
something
selfish.
I
You
noticed.
should've-
I liked
Pass
the
it along.
cherry flavor.
That's where it all went.
The
Flavored
cherry
pears.
flavor. Look at Brian.
Answer the fucking question.
Yes.
guys.
It's Yasha. It's a
What are
matter
you
of deep
doing?
well
This
of
is
emotion.
Talk
This is the last
2.0.
question. We're
We are
milking it for every second.
reformed.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, I think, yeah, Yasha is very sensitive to, how do I put this in
You're
words?
you're trying not to give shit away, huh?
Well,
I think she's been trying not to give shit
necessarily.
away.
I think it's,
not
I mean, I'm still
trying not to
figuring
give
out
it away. I
a
think
lot of
she's
shit
just
about
figuring
Yasha
out
with each game.
what
Yeah.
she could say that would give us
I think
nothing, or something that wouldn't spoil
It's-
something.
she does have a level of compassion or empathy that I think is popping up for me that I didn't sort of realize was there, but I think it makes sense a lot for the character because it also goes along with this is a very large conversation I feel like I'm getting into, but I'm going to try to wrap it up really quickly.
You can do whatever. We got time.
I think
We
it's
have
one of
5
those
hours.
things where
Speak as long as you wish, Ashley.
Yasha definitely feels very apologetic because of the choices and the things that she's done in her life. And so I think I feel like she's one of those people that will continue to say sorry for things
This is like
until
rocking and nodding continuously.
figures
the
out-
entire question.
that she's.
I think I almost feel like he's
What
doing
she's
it on purpose.
apologizing
Up, he's
for?
not.
Yeah, like
I
until
get
she
it.
figures out what she's apologizing for. And so I think it's
Yeah.
just like, sorry, are you okay?
Yes.
I know.
I know people like
she's
that.
also she's
We're-
pretty tuned into people's feelings.
They're just
Well, she's
constantly
More so, I think,
she's a
than
bad
anything else.
beach, but
They're
like she also had
responsible
a heart.
because
like,
of a lot
big
of
heart.
bad shit
Yeah.
that happened
You
in
can
her
tell.
life.
That big heart is where the bad biche comes from. Did you say biche?
Yeah, bad beach.
Bad biche.
Maybe she's Canadian, and that's why she's
Bad
saying
biche.
sorry all the time to everybody.
Steve?
Steve?
It's possible.
Can relate. Who can
Possible.
relate?
I think that's it.
We're almost out of time.
Oh,
Should I
no.
sneak in one more, Danny?
Yeah.
Which
Let's
one do you
see.
like?
I like the last one.
Okay,
last
for both
one?
of you, Zemnian Critter. my
Zemnian
favorite
critter.
kind. I don't have a favorite kind. Please don't tweet me. It's the last thing I need after this week. Since this is a barbarians only episode of Talks,
Barbarian.
Yeah.
we
only.
hear your best battle
it.
cry.
Battle cry.
Ah!
That's it? That's our last
That's
one?
not your best.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Imagine waking
Ashley.
up
I don't
in the
wanna
middle of
blow
the
this
night.
mic out.
Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and finding
it.
out that I had peed in your jeans drawer.
You gotta pike it. I mean, we've heard her do some
Imagine
wild roars.
barbarian roar at me.
Inner pike,
Do
or
it.
I
How
mean,
would
well,
you-
Yasha,
It's
obviously,
happened.
could probably belt
Do
it
it.
out
How would
better.
you, barbarian?
What's happened?
Everything's happened.
You go. I'm nervous about this. Can we actually really scream?
Yeah, it's far enough away. Really give it to us. guys.
I feel like
Wow.
they lowered the mics a little,
Wow.
but it was still perfect.
That was
I mean, it was half.
I feel like
Put me out in a field.
they
was a
perfectly
warm-up.
lowered
Give
the
me a
mics
minute.
just
Sounds
enough.
Good, darling.
Oh, I see
Like,
what you're saying. I was like, I'm not
me
gonna
and
put you
Karen.
out
They
in the
sounded like
field.
the same volume, but
That was our
screaming their freaking
talks.
heads off.
Yeah.
Tame,
Either
so
way,
we
I
don't
loved
scare
it. It
people.
was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta earn the real thing.
Yeah.
I understand. Thank you both for joining
That
us.
was good. I like that.
Thank you for helping me recreate this show into what it really should be, which is an honest look at a bunch of dishonest people. That's all the time we have.
I love how he
tonight,
ends it,
folks.
end it like that.
I would like to thank
Make
Travis. I'd
everyone
like to thank
question it,
Ashley. I'd
except
like to
us who
thank
know.
Taliesin for joining us tonight.
And Taliesin.
Episode 61 is this
We're thanking
Thursday.
Taliesin.
As always, please don't forget to love each other. Don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay turnt, my friends, and remember, creepy ain't a crime.
Oh.
No.
Neither is D&D.
All right, guys, that is it for episode 60 of Talks Machina. Great episode. I feel like there was a lot of good questions in the middle, but the beginning and the end was typical chaotic insanity. I feel like intentionally. Here's what I'm thinking. And I think it's funny because I feel like I said in the episode, that a lot of it we've experienced as a group. Every now and then people are like, you guys rant and joke and talk too much about nonsense when we're in the live streams and stuff. We'll get off on craziness, but I'm always like waiting to focus. And you guys know I always know in the end what is going on. If I ever miss anything, it's easy to just be like, Jay, you missed it. I catch probably 9 out of 10 things, but I dig how Brian is attacking the negativity. He's basically like, guys, we got to restructure the whole show because people are saying that we joke around too much, and that is no place for this. This is D&D. This is serious business. I have to assume he is being sarcastic and like, screw you. We're going to do whatever the hell we want. We have Matt Mercer running in, throwing wallets at Ford, jumping over the couch. Then Brian like bends over the couch. Ashley pokes him in the butt. Craziness just ensues, as always. At one point, Brian is sitting Indian style in the chair and just goes on that insane rant about, and then this happens, and then this happens, and he knew what he was doing. He is going out of his way. Then he even went so far as to pretty much make fun of the questions people write in. Why don't we ask your questions? Because they suck. You're asking who would win the fight, Grog and Ford. That's a stupid question. We're not asking your stupid questions. That's pretty much what he said. And I love him for it. Whether he's right or wrong, it's his show. That's my point. It's not about being right or wrong. It's his show. He can do whatever he wants. That's basically the stance I take, which is why way back, I can't even remember what episode that was. It had to have been like at least 30, 40 episodes ago. There is a problem, and you guys know what I'm talking about. We experienced it. It was with Bowlgate, I'm pretty sure. But either way, I connect with Brian. I tell you all the time. I feel like me and Brian are like very similar people. It's the sense of humor and everything. But a great episode. I feel like we're just going to keep doing the same old thing. And we didn't get Gift of the Week again, second or third time in a row. I think that's the second time, possibly third time. And Brian said something's coming. We haven't seen it yet. I'm going to edit this up. I'm going to jump into episode 61. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel. In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the campaign 2 Patreon hour exclusive of every episode. Vox Machina Season 1 and 2, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Death Note, Legend of Korra, hundreds of other movies and shows. In the description is a link. Check it out. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.